So thank you everybody for joining in this seminar. As ma'am said, this is the topic given to me was the curriculum and planning. So under curriculum and planning, I have taken one class, many minds. So we are all aware of it. We are all educated, and we are all teaching so many years. We know very well there is no homogeneous classroom. Just imagine if you give the same size of shoe to all the students, definitely many will feel uncomfortable. The same way only, if you teach the same way to the entire classroom, definitely will take place. At the same time, some students will feel uncomfortable, some students will struggle. So how we are going to overcome it? This is what we are doing for so many years. We are trying for so many years. Whether we have achieved it or not, that is a very big question. So whatever we are going to discuss today, kindly, whenever possible, try to use it. I'm going to share two strategies. One is how we can plan our teaching. Another one is how we can evaluate. These two strategies only I'm going to plan. We are going to discuss in another half an hour. So some of you may be aware of it. Some of you already implementing in your classroom. So if it's so, well and good. If not, you can take these two strategies from this session and you can implement in your class immediately. And particularly for board handling class teachers, it is difficult to implement all these strategies, even whatever CBS is saying, because finally we need to produce the marks. But at least 15 days once or monthly once, we can try this kind of activity strategies. So without further delay, we'll go to the concept. What we are going to discuss, as I told you already, we are going to meet the diverse learners' needs. Different learners' needs, how we are going to meet in terms of adopting our content, process, product, and learning environment, etc. Then second objective of this session is we can develop or revise our lesson plan or unit plan according to the learner diversity needs. These are the two important objectives we are going to focus today. Before starting what we are going to see, you don't want to replay, you don't want to write anything. Just imagine what kind of students we were in our school days. Just imagine how we were learning, how our friends were learning. What about the students who are sitting in the first bench? What about the students who are sitting in the last bench? Now there is no first bench, last bench. Based on our learning ability, we are not making the students to sit. But just imagine when we were students, 15 years, 20 years back, usually toppers will sit in the first bench. Slow learners will be in the last bench. It's what most of the schools. So imagine, are we going to be having our classroom, our environment in the same way? So I hope you people now understood what kind of teachers we are, what kind of students we were. Now I just want to write one word in the chat that describes your teaching style. Quickly, teachers, just try to give response. So what kind of students you were now, what type of teaching style you have. If you were a high achiever in your school days, your teaching is reaching your students. Just imagine if you are a slow learner or if you are a slow learner, after that we would have managed and we would have reached this position. That is different. But just imagine, suppose your friend is a very slow learner. What he would have felt, what he might have felt during that time. Now what you are doing for those kind of teachers, sorry, students. So I hope People are writing. You can chat. You can post your messages in the chat box. So thank you for your response. This is not to just test anybody. Just want to relate the student we were and teachers we are. In every classroom, we have fast learners, average learners, slow learners, silent learners, and even active learners. But remember, all are learners. Nobody is having, or nobody is problem learners. Everybody is a learner. Whether our teaching is reaching everybody, that's what we need to realize. Our role is not to teach one way, but teach many ways so every child can learn. That's what I want to stress here. So how we are getting different types of learners? Actually, what is learner diversity? What are the different types of learners we are getting in our classroom? The differences based on their readiness, based on their interest, based on their learning style, based on their cultural background and special learning needs. Just I want to go one by one here. When it is coming to readiness, all the students are not going to come with the same kind of skill. They will be coming with different kind of skill, different kind of backgrounds and competencies. So how we can assess them? We need to assess their readiness by giving some diagnostic activities, some pre-testers, and most of you might be using this KWL chart. Know, want to know, what I have learned. Actually, students can say what I want to know, what I learned. The modified form of the KWL chart only we are going to discuss next slides. Then when it is coming to interest, include the topics where students enjoy to build the engagement and motivation. Again, I'm saying 90 percentage for boards going students, it is very difficult. For those teachers, it is very difficult. But at least as I told you earlier, 15 days once, monthly once, we can try whether it is reaching everybody or not. Finally, we know very well board going teachers, how they are struggling to bring the marks. But at the same time, we also can implement in our class. It's not very often here and there. So next, we can provide learning activities such as we can give them some projects based on their interest I'm talking. To motivate them, we can provide some projects and we can relate some real life problems so that the students can able to solve because it is going to be fall under their interest. Then this very common learning styles, we have different types of learners. We all came across this many times. We have visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners. So in what way we are doing this? At a time, we cannot satisfy everybody. In a class, we cannot satisfy everybody. But we can ensure that that particular concept or topic reaches everybody. As I told you, even when it is coming to special learning needs, even in the board exam, we are giving extra time for the teachers, sorry, students. 1 hour extra they will be having. Even in the board exam, they are giving dyslexia students, they are dyscalculia students, dyslexia students. We are giving 1 hour extra in the board exam. But what we are doing, we are treating everybody in the same way. And when it is coming to cultural background, we know very well they are coming from different values, traditions, and perspectives. When we teach, we need to use their cultural relevant examples, which is related to their culture, and such kind of stories we can use to inculcate this. Even we can adapt those different learner diversity under cultural background. So teachers, if you have any doubts, last 10 minutes we have. In the last 10 minutes, you can ask any doubts. You can ask very well if you have any doubt. Now we'll go. Then next, we are going to discuss about how we can differentiate our teaching style. As I told you earlier, we have different type of students based on their readiness, interest, learning style, cultural background, and special learning needs. Now, how we are going to differentiate our teaching style, our strategies to those kind of students, to these diverse learners. First one, we can differentiate content. Actually, what is content? We know what students learn, what they are going to learn. This is a content. We cannot change the content because particularly for CBSE, all the syllabus is created by the CBSE board, NCRT. We need to stick on it. But we can modify that content to reach everybody in our classroom. Remember, different learners need different approaches. Actually, learning diversity is not a challenge. We must remember that. It is the reality of every classroom. Every classroom, you do not have a homogeneous classroom. Whether you have only toppers in a particular class, whether you have batch one students in a particular class, definitely even that also is not going to be a homogeneous classroom. So the learning diversity is the reality of every classroom. So how we can differentiate our teaching strategies what matter. So first, as I told you, content, what students learn, we can provide the materials in different levels to these students. Some students, if you give only text, they will be able to learn whatever is available in the textbook or whatever available, the notes what we are giving, what different publishers are providing. But some students need simplified notes. They will not learn whatever is available in the textbook. Then we can use multimedia resources to reach the student. Our content must reach the student. So we can use some multimedia resources. We can use diagrams, videos, audios, etc. Then it is one coming to process how they learn, in what way they are going to learn. We can use mix of learning activities like group work. We can use some independent talks, and we can go for some hands-on practices. Then we can give some guided questions, what to say, step-by-step supports. This kind of process we can include so that it reaches everybody. Next, third one is the product. How they are going to show their learning. That is nothing but we can say how they understood. Even if you go further, it can be a evaluation, assessment, etc. So the product, how they are going to show their learning. So we can ask or we can provide multiple ways to demonstrate their understanding. There are so many ways. That's what next two slides we are going to see. We can ask them to make posters. We can ask them to write essays, create videos, models, etc. Then environment is about where and with whom they learn. This is also matter, I hope, because just like that they used to say, what a teacher cannot do in the whole year, a friend can do in only 1 year. We will be teaching whole years, particular concepts, subjects, but they will sit with their friend one night before the exam, they will learn. If not everybody, but there are students. So where and with whom they are learning is also very important. So we need to create a flexible seating, because in the beginning we said the students with special needs also will be there in our class. Special needs does not mean that they are physically challenged, but different learning abilities also can be considered as a special needs. So we have to provide flexible seatings. We have to provide their, what to say, some students, they need support in their cultural atmosphere also. So for them also we need to provide the supports. And really, as I told you, physically challenged, really, if there are some students, we need to provide a separate space in the sense which is suitable for them. So that separate space, tools, and sensory supports, those things we need to provide for them. So up to now, what I discussed was, what we have seen was what kind of students we are having, what are the different possibilities for this, and how can we provide or change our strategies to uh, reach those diverse learners. Now I have, yeah, this is if students cannot learn the way we teach, we must teach the way they learn. I hope everybody will accept it. Actually, some 4 or 5 years, maybe 2017, before 2017 in CBSE, we had formative and summative assessments. Now only totally board exam. Earlier it was formative and summative assessments only. Formative assessment, what the CBSE said, you don't evaluate the students by giving the questions. Goal is same, concept is same, content is same, but you don't evaluate. You evaluate what they know. We need to assess what they know. But from the particular concept, they may not able to write a paragraph, but they can able to draw a diagram. They cannot able to do a project, but somebody, if the project is done, they can able to demonstrate it. They can able to explain it. So we need to assess what they understood. It's not giving one question to everybody and getting the answer. Here the answer is same, but we need to provide different questions. That is what we supposed to do to reach all the learners. So this is the first strategy. I don't have time, need to complete soon. This is the first strategy. It is about KWHLAQ chart. Earlier it was KWL, what I know. It means what the student knows. W, and earlier it was only L, what I learned. But thanks to Bharati ma'am, because of her, now I have included this also, KWHLAQ chart. Actually, before entering into a class, as I told you, not in every classroom, in every period, as I told you, whenever possible, we can use this chart. So K for what I know, W what I want to know. It's about a student. I'm talking about student. H, how will I learn it? L, what I learned. A, what action I will take. It means it's application. Q, questions still I have. So if before, when we enter into a class, when we enter into a topic, if we say this kind of, if you create this kind of charts and provide to the students, they will be coming up with this type of answers. So you can see here, you can create a chart like this. Here you have what I know. I have taken a solar system, it's a small topic example. We have what I know. The students, they may write the sun is the center of the solar system. That is what they know about it. What I want to know, what the students want to know. Here, you remember one thing, teachers. Here, what I want to know, there is no restriction for the question. Remember, they can fill what I know, say, but what I want to know, there is no restriction. They can fill anything here. So, suppose if the students they are writing how were the planets formed. Next, how they are going to learn it? How will I learn it? There are, which is nothing but a resources, which is nothing but a process that can be included here. So they can go with reading textbooks about the solar system, and they can watch some videos, but those videos should be authenticated videos. That's why I have given NASA videos. So they can go for this kind of videos. After that, end of the class, what I learned, they will be writing what I learned here. So the solar system, suppose they learn this, the solar system formed from a giant clouds of gas and dust, etc. So that can be written here. Next, what action I will take, how they are going to use this learning. It can be here I have given, it can be a model, it can be anything. They can write whatever they feel. That's why we got this chart. Finally, if they have any doubts, if they have any clarifications, they can write here. So could humans live on another planet? Commonly, some students, those who are learning these concepts newly, they will be having this doubt. And what future missions will explore outer planets with this kind of doubts. So this chart we can use. So the TLRI team asked me to provide one strategy which can be utilized, which can be implemented in your next class. So I'm giving this, I'm suggesting this. You can go with this kind of charts in your class. And this charts templates will be shared by the TLRI team at the end of the session. The next one, the second strategy is choice boards. I think many of you must be aware of it. Choice boards. This choice boards, what it is going to provide? It is going to give around 3 to 9 options for every learner to show what they learn. As I told you, we are going to teach only one topic, only one content, only one answer, but sorry, only one question, but it has different answers. Diagram, they can write a short summary, they can record a 1 minute explanation, etc. They can choose any one or three. We can go, if suppose we want to have more learning, we want to test in depth, we can go for 3 columns. I will show the columns now. You can see here, again, I have taken a solar system. We have 3 rows, 3 columns. Actually, a simple choice board. Yes, ma'am. Any doubt? So they can go for these 3 into 3 choice boards. See here, we have explained about solar system, a particular topic. The students can able to draw and label the planets in the solar system. They can write a short poem or short story about traveling to the another planet. These are all examples. You can choose anything based on your topics. Then use household items or clay to build a 3D model of the solar system. They can research one planet and create a fact sheet with interesting details. They can explain a particular planet, how it is orbiting the sun as a video. They can compare and contrast 2 different planets. They can imagine if you're an astronaut, write a diary entry about your day on a space mission. They can create a digital slideshow or PowerPoint presentation about the solar system, and they can present their favorite planet to the class or a small group. Actually, if you feel, again, teachers, listen, if you feel one, they can choose, if you feel my students I want to test more, whether they understood more in depth, everything clearly means you can make any three, or you can make it as a compulsory. Each row they have to write one. I hope you can able to understand what I'm saying. They can students they can go for any particular one which is best for them, which they are comfortable. Out of these 9, this actually has to be created by the teacher. Choice boards we need to create and we need to give to the student. KWL chart that we can just provide the template, the students will fill it. But this choice board, teachers, they have to prepare it and they have to give to the students. You can display it in the board, whatever it may be. But if you want, you can make it minimum 3. Don't go beyond 3, then the purpose will go waste. So minimum 3 you can go, but if it is 1 or 2, it's okay, not an issue. So this is a simple choice board. So about that KWL and about this choice board will be shared, the template will be shared to you. So actually you can create a mini choice board by your own by using 3 into 3 grid. You can fill 3 to 6 simple activity options. And remember, we need to ensure it must address all the diverse learners. Your board options all the possible ways in which the students can learn. Drawing, it can be a drawing, it can be a writing, it can be a speaking, a take or non-take, anything. They can go for anything. So according to that, based on that, we need to create our choice boards. Then here finally I gave draw a diagram, write a short summary, record a 1-minute explanation, create a comic. Particularly this comic and all English teachers, they can do very well. Sample models, what to say, these science teachers, they can go with that. Designing a poster, social teachers, they can go with that. Write a poem or song, again, language teachers. Create a crossword puzzle. This here options for, you have choices for all the learners. Every learner can choose any one from this. There are students who can go for all the 9, but we need 1, 2, 3. In that way, we have to prepare a choice board. So finally, I want to conclude this session by giving this statement. Equality is giving the same to all. So everything what usually we are doing, that is equality. We are not showing any partiality. Whatever we know, whatever we have to do, we are delivering. It is given to everybody. But remember, equity is giving what each child needs. I feel, I hope, and I suggest we need to go for the second one. We need to be equity. We need to give what every child needs. So this is what about today's session. Half an hour only they have given me. In this 10 minutes, you can ask if you have any doubts.
Tamilnesan, much for the wonderful session. It was a great start for today's training nexus.